Elimination. Experiments consistently show without an exception that elimination is much more important than feeding. Many refuse to recognize that fact. The maintenance of the vital condition of the body is more intimately and immediately related to and dependent upon the excreting part of the physiological process than it is upon the supply of new aliment. Many refuse to recognize the fact that feeding may be suspended for a considerable time without causing anything more serious than loss of weight and strength. The records show that people have gone without food all the way from 40 days to 40 years and still lived in good health. But the elimination of the effete substance produced by tissue disintegration cannot be checked for even a few minutes in warm-blooded animals without inducing fatal results. Every act of respiration is in effect the leading process of excretion and the only process of animation.
Wow.
For to stay the breathing is to stop the living.
So when we're thinking about this and just pondering on this topic of elimination, which once again feeds into the constipation that is ruling the nation, right? The aggravation of the insides, the internal organs, and just the understanding that every act of respiration is in effect leading the process of excretion and the only process of animation. For to stay the breathing is to stop the living. The energy in the air that is always giving, right? Now, when we're talking about the elimination through the rectum, and when we don't make peace, when we don't rectify with the rectum, when we don't reconcile with the rectum, when we don't reconfigure, when we get things misconstrued and misunderstand these wonderful organs that work for us in our body. You know, there's a story about how all the body, they had a meeting with each other, the organs of the body, and they had a meeting, a delegation, they had a point of confrontation, they had a communication, they consulted each other. The heart thought that it was in charge. The stomach thought it was in charge. The eyes, they said, we're in charge. No, we're in charge. We allow the body to see where it's going. We're in charge. The legs thought they were in charge. They said, well, without us, where can we move? We're in charge. The brain thought it was in charge. It said, nothing's happening without me. I'm in charge, right? I send the electrical signals to allow everything to happen. I'm the captain, right? And then the rectum said, wait a minute. I'm in charge. Because without me, the body would be full of waste, right? Without the elimination, there'd be constant degradation. And this whole body would be racked with frustration. The eyes laughed at the rectum. The legs laughed at the rectum. All the other organs, the body, they all laughed at the rectum. Ah! Silly. Calm down. You stay over there. We'll handle this, all right? We'll take care of the body. you just be quiet. And with a harumph, the rectum shut itself tight with all of its might. What happened next was not a beautiful sight, right? With the rectum shut tight, all of a sudden, the brain had a very, very intense headache. The brain had a migraine. The blood became toxic. The legs could hardly move. The man became dizzy, racked with all of this congestion and indigestion, and couldn't get it out of the body. Everything started to shut down one by one, one by one by one by one. The body started to no longer function in a state of dysfunction, because the rest of the body had the gumption to ignore elimination. So it plunged the vessel into a state of low vibration. And they all had to agree, one by one by one. They folded at the poker table of the body. They all folded their cards. And they said, you got it, you won. Right? Checkmate. They turned over the king and they said, it's yours. The game is yours. And that was when we realized that even though all the workers may be doing a great job, the asshole is usually in charge. Thank you so much for listening. This has been Jerome Shaw. I trust that you enjoyed this message. All jokes aside, we gotta take care. We gotta stay aware of what has always been there. And when it comes to our bodies, elimination is much more important than feeding. Check out the website that we have for you with the content that we don't post here. The website that we have for you is called patreon.com/chronicpath, with a wealth of resourceful knowledge for you. Thank you for all that you do. I also do one-on-one coaching. For those that want information on that, to schedule a consultation, message me on Patreon and we'll get together. Thank you so much. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Keep the grateful, thankful spirit, and may the rest of your life and the breath of your life be the best of your life, my friend. This has been Jerome Shaw. Much love.